Okay, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the audience who is here in St. Andrews with us, as well as everyone who is following this program online. Welcome and thank you for being present today. My name is Magdalene Kuman. I am a volunteer with CUSO International, working in Grenada with the Ministry of Social and Community Development, Housing and Gender Affairs. To start our program this evening, I would like to welcome Ms. Tomisha Nicholas to lead us in prayers.
Thank you. Afternoon, everyone. Let us reverend God. Father God, we thank you. We thank you for your blessings that you overpoured on us this afternoon, that you brought each and every one of us into the community of Moncton this afternoon, Father. We thank you for this evening's proceedings, and we ask that you would shower us with your blessings. We ask that you would hasten the footsteps of those parents that is about to partake in our parenting community session. Father God, we ask that you cover our minister, our PS, and all our heads in the ministry this afternoon, our staff. Father God, as you continue to guide us and protect us throughout this evening proceeding, we ask that you would open up the intellect of all of the participants this afternoon so that they can take home a message, Father God, and you continue to cover this community. In your name and no other name, amen.
Thank you so much, Tamisha. I would like to acknowledge the presence of the Honorable Gloria Ann Thomas, Minister of Social and Community Development, Housing and Gender Affairs, Ms. Petal Rush, Permanent Secretary for Community Development and Housing and Gender Affairs, Ms. Loris Pascal, In-Program Support Officer with CUSO International, all parents who are here today, the staff from the Ministry of Social and Community Development, Housing and Gender Affairs, and Mikey Live, thank you for being here to this broadcast. So why are we here today? The United Nations has dedicated May 15th as the International Day of Families to highlight the importance of families and their role in social development. And the government of Grenada, through the Ministry of Social and Community Development, Housing and Gender Affairs, they have embarked on a special series of information sessions for parents in various communities. The theme of these sessions are empowering families, building inclusive communities. So yesterday we were at River Sally in St. Patrick's. Tonight we are at Mount Horne in St. Andrews. Tomorrow we are going to be at Willis in St. George's. And on a Monday we are going to be at the St. John's Anglican School in Guave. And on Tuesday, we are going to be at the St. Joseph RC School in Pomerose. Now I've forgotten, where's Pomerose? In St. David's. In St. David's. So you can see the ministry is very active in helping and supporting families to be the best families they can be. And without any further ado, I'd like to welcome Ms. Petal Rush, Permanent Secretary for Social Development and Gender Affairs, for a few opening remarks. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. Senator the Honorable Gloria Williams. Gloria Thomas, sorry. I heard Mr. Williams, my apologies. Senator the Honorable Gloria Thomas, Minister for Social and Community Development, Housing and Gender Affairs. Ms. Magdalene Kuhlman, Monitoring and Evaluation Specialist with CUSO International. Ms. Pascal, also a volunteer and country representative for Crusoe International, members of staff of Ministry of Social Development, guests, parents, a pleasant good afternoon. Good afternoon. Oh, okay, our hearts are beating. My duty here is to welcome you to this initiative. We as a ministry, we thought it prudent to come to you within the communities to meet with you on your own turf, to dialogue with you, and to impart some important information as it relates to parenting. Many of you are parents here today, and your role is critical to the development of your children. What you put in is what you would get out. If you sow mangoes, you don't expect to reap grapes. So we are here to help you in that area. Parenting is an important role. It shapes the mind, physical, mental, and every aspect of a child. Therefore, it is important that you are imparted with the necessary skills to improve and to ensure that you grow your children in an environment that is conducive so that they can be better citizens. We hope that at the end of these sessions, you will be able to dialogue with us, you'll be able to learn something new, and of course, we continue to partner with you. As we indicated yesterday, we're not here to talk down to you, but to just have that dialogue and to open the conversation how we can make your lives better as a parent, and of course, how you parent your children. We want to thank you for coming, and I know you will enjoy the sessions. We have some wonderful speakers who are here to speak to you and to help you as you grow on your journey as parents. So thank you and enjoy the rest of the sessions.
Thank you so much, Ms. Petal Rush. And we want to also acknowledge the presence of Ms. Kinder DeBellot, who is the manager for the SEED program. Ms. Kinder, can you just raise your hand? Thank you very much for being here. It's really important. We'll now call on the Honorable Gloria Ann Thomas, Minister of Social and Community Development, Housing and Gender Affairs, for a few remarks.
Thank you, Madam Moderator, Ms. Kuman, PS Rush, PS in the Ministry of Social and Community Development, Housing and Gender Affairs with responsibility for social development and gender affairs, senior members of the Ministry of Social Development, other members, facilitators, parents. The reason why we are here because of you. And of course, our media personnel, Mikey Live. Pleasant good afternoon to all. We are here this evening because we are embarking on a series of parenting sessions because we are celebrating or commemorating International Family Day. And the theme for this year's celebration is empowering families, building inclusive communities. So we are here with you to see how much we could help to empower you and your families so that the investment you make in your family will yield great returns. Parenting is a very serious undertaking, and you don't have to be rich, you don't have to be highly educated to raise your children well. The best and easiest way to have good children is to be models for them. You as the parent, you do what you think is right or what is right in their presence. You do what is right in their view so that they follow your example and they follow your way of doing things. So you cannot speak to the children in a certain manner and you expect them to grow up in a different way. Whatever you would like to see your children become, whatever you would like your children to do, you as the parents must do it first. Okay? So the best way to raise good children is to be good role models. No amount of talking will help if they see you doing what you're not expecting them to do. So parents, I just want to encourage you. I'm glad that you come out. We're really happy that you make yourself available for the information. And we trust that when we leave here this evening, you will have learned something. You will have been able to go home with a new idea, a new approach to help you in raising your children in a more effective way. So, with these few remarks, I want to encourage you to participate, ask questions, be open, and pay attention. Pay attention, okay? So thank you again for coming, and just enjoy the sessions. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. And Honorable Minister said, you don't have to be highly educated or any of that to be a good parent. But it's important for us to be present with our children. For those of you who are online, I want to encourage you as you listen to the different presenters to write comments, tell us how you were doing online. If you have any questions, we have a dedicated team here who are reading your comments and who will be able to respond to you. So for tonight, just to let you know what we are doing, we have 4 presenters and we are looking at 4 themes. The first theme is discipline versus punishment, which will be presented by Miss Dale Neptune. Then we have parenting in the electronic era. It will be presented by Mr. Andy Matthew. We also have child abuse awareness and prevention, which will be presented by Mr. Anderson Richardson, and also healthy and unhealthy relationships by Ms. Colette Jeffrey Charles. So if you're online, keep looking out for those sessions. And for you who are here with us present, I hope that you will be able to engage and ask questions. Tonight is your night. As you are raising your children, we'll give you the floor as well for you to ask anything you want and to share with us your experience of raising your family. Okay, so at this point, I'd like to call on Miss Dale Neptune, who will be facilitating the first session. And a little bit about Dale, you need to know, is that she is a community-oriented individual with a strong passion for service. She actively volunteers in various communities across Grenada, bringing her experience and compassion to every initiative. As a certified and trained parenting facilitator and life skills coach with over 18 years of experience, Dale has made a lasting impact. She has worked extensively with families, young adults, and youth in crisis, providing guidance, support, and empowerment through her dedicated efforts. So, Miss Neptune, welcome, and thank you for your time. Okay. You need the mic? Does somebody else need the mic?
Oh Lord, all I had to walk on. Baby, good evening.
Daddy don't baby me now.
What's up, darling?
You think he's not there, man? I'm hungry. I don't get nothing to eat.
You're tired and you're hungry. And you're outside long, you know.
I don't want that.
I'll bring a little supper for you.
What
Take a little supper now, you know Daddy love you.
I don't
want a
want
little supper.
Mr. Anderson!
Hi.
Mr. Anderson, come out here. Come out here. You and your child. Come out. You know, I take long digging up me soil, planting me sweet potato, me peas, and me corn. You child come and thief me mango. thief me golden apple. Y'all ever see that? I'm sure y'all see she thieving me thing this evening and trampled down all my little seedlings. You know how they walk in? Ask Gloria Thomas, all of them, they give me little sponsor. That's what you and your child doing? And you have no reasoning for your child. Pay me back. Pay me back.
Did you take anything from the lady?
I want back.
You take anything from her?
So yeah, ask them. You see all them neighbors watching?
Daddy, you leave me alone and Daddy hungry. So I'm going to take a mango and a golden apple.
Oh gosh, but it's just a mango she
It's
take.
not about no mango. All I just get the thing from Ministry of Agriculture. All my little plants trampled down. I want me corn carnival coming to go and sell me roast corn. Bonja, you and your child wicked we?
Okay, listen. I am a responsible father, okay? And I take responsibility for what my daughter have done.
I want back the money.
So this is what I'm going to do. Mountain, when I get paid,
Mountain too far.
weekend, when I get paid, I go ensure that
You
I
just
pay
get
you.
paid because she always looking hungry?
I go pay you for what it is that was damaged. How much of your things that was damaged?
I don't know, you know, but a 500 go work.
A 500 go work? Well, we go work out something. We go work out something.
You know something? I kind of changed my mind. I'm sorry for you too, you know. Because
Well, let us work hard, you know.
since human leave you, I don't find any... You know what? I know the human leave you, you're lonely and you're in trouble with the child. So,
But the
you know
tabank
what?
easy too, you know.
Oh, God, well, I got to help you get a lady to help you look after your child. But you know what? Don't mind let she come with me in the evening, and we're going to try to replant the potato. We will have to replant the peas, and we will have to plant over the corn because they mash up.
So we go do that,
Right?
eh? We go do that, daughter?
Yes, Daddy, and I'm really sorry, Miss Ellen.
So when the minister and them pass, they could see me garden flourishing. Best garden. Any neighbors? Yes. Right. Thank you. So what is our topic today? Discipline versus punishment. What did you notice in this skit? What went on there today? And I know you all have little neighborly conflict and so on going on and so on. What happened there today in this little skit with the neighbors?
I said the father leave the child a little too long for herself.
Right, the father left the child long for herself. Anybody else? What's about leaving the child hungry? Anybody ever left the child hungry, like you know, you're walking and you know they come out from school and they're hungry?
Sometimes you don't leave her hungry, but for the long time you stay, she get hungry during the period.
Right. Now, and that leaves room, they go out and play. They go out playing. And if they're hungry, what is going to happen? And they're seeing some nice, juicy mangoes or other fruits. They will what? Right. So in our little skit, we saw the neighbor was riled up and ready, right? But did the father embarrass his daughter in front of the neighbor? What did the father do? What did the father do? What did he say to his daughter? If she did it, yes. And he did something very important. He asked her, huh?
He asked her if she did chomp up the corn.
Right? But then he asked her to do something else.
She said sorry.
To say sorry. So he asked her to say, was she looking sorry? She was looking sorry, right? Now, so we're talking about discipline. Yes, so we'll get a little help because, sorry, we don't have the, right, the board. So when we talk about discipline, this word at the top, what word we seeing here? Discussion. Parents, when we are disciplining our children, we need to do what? Have a... But I know sometimes you don't have a discussion. How you usually talk to them when you're vexed? You cursing them. What's mommy does say?
What the?
What's mommy does say?
She does curse.
My God, so. Mommy, what she does say?
I was spoiled, but I does not use bad one.
You ain't using no bad one, but quarreling. Mommy, what you saying?
I was curse them.
You cursing one? Bad one?
No.
Not bad one?
Nah.
Nice you cursing?
Yes.
I vex. What mommy does say?
That she's my mother.
Yeah, so what she does say? I want to hear.
Sometimes she does pinch me up and tell me not to do it again.
Right. And how do you feel about that when you get in those pinch?
Sad.
Sad. Right. So you see, she get the ring up. Do you stay sad? Not for long. And then 2 minutes and you and mommy good again. Because parents, we have to discuss. All right? And when we have situation arising from, it could be conflict or it could be maybe the children want some money or something and they're getting on and they're not doing what you want them to do. Or maybe something at school, right? You don't just curse. And sometimes, and not just sometimes, you have to listen to their side of the story as well. Because you see, the neighbor came and said, the child did that, and the parent asked. The parent had a discussion, right? So you need to have a discussion to find out instead of just taking one side and getting on as a high house. Right, mommy? Right. What we have at the bottom? What's the second word here? Investigate. Let me see who does investigate. Mommy, do you investigate?
Not all the time.
Not all the time. Mommy does investigate? What about you? Do you investigate? No, you don't investigate. What do you usually do? You just start to curse?
No.
What you do? Mommy laughing so much, and mommy, the words not coming out, you know. Right? So sometimes when something happens, it could be at home with simple chores, right? You have to actually be a detective. Y'all see when y'all partners sometimes, you ain't sure what they're doing, how you're going all the way out, taking their phone, investigating, asking people questions. All who you know was somewhere, you're asking them. If they was there and you're joking up thing, that's how you have to investigate with your children. So you know and you stay on top of things. It's all part of the disciplining. And we also have structuring. Structure means that at home, you have to have things that go in a plan. It can be, you say 3 o'clock today, you form and you're strong is 3 o'clock and tomorrow is 3. And then Friday, they didn't come home 3 and you can't be bothered. You have to be consistent with the chores, with their life. If you say 9 o'clock is putting away the device and we're going to pray, 9 o'clock, or you're going to bed, 9 o'clock, or the wares should be washed by 9, you're supposed to do that. Try every night until they get it, right? So my little grandson is 5, but it's a task for my daughter every night. He knows the time for news, for prayers, for everything. And he keeps saying, Mommy, just a 5 minutes more. Can I get a 5 minutes more? When you see this little face pleading and begging, you know, you relent. But let me tell you, sometimes you relent and other times you have to stick to the plan. Because trust me, they're figuring you out. Okay? And notice, well, the other word I just talked about it, being consistent, right, in your disciplining of your children. So disciplining don't always mean that you have to get on as a high horse and beating them and all of that. Going to the school, calling, being consistent, is a form of discipline too, because when they know mommy is in contact with the school and the teacher, trust me, you will find them behaving different. I know some parents, they like to go to the school and bully the principal, quarrel with the teacher in everybody else present, right? And we know sometimes, I wouldn't say sometimes we say, oh, they look for it. No, there are ways of handling things. All right, the next one we have playing. Do you play with your children? What games do you play with them? Cat and mouse? Dominoes. What you play with your children? Cards? Who else? Who parenting? Who else in the back? Granny, what you play with your children? What games you play with your grandchildren?
Word games.
Word games. What you play with? What games you play? Snakes and ladder. What game you play? Uno, right? So I play. There's I'm not sure what's the name of these games, but I play with my grandson. You have to turn, there's a face, or some let's say a drawing or so, and you have to try to figure it out, and then when you turn it upside down, it's a reveal, right? So I look for the pictures on Google, and we play that all the time. And he loved that. It's a lot of fun, right? So you have to play because you have to make the connection, and so they can feel comfortable with you when you are disciplining them. And you also have to let them know about their limits, all right? Now, not every activity that is happening, you have to let your children go. And if you let them go to an activity, what would you tell them when they're leaving? About the time. What time do you give them? Minutes to 8. Well, what time is minutes to 8 though? So I remember when one of my daughters, in those days they used to have this happy hour in the car park. And I would say, go early, take a little music by the car park, come back 7. But here what? When 7 o'clock, her friends up the road just going in happy hour, and she have to come back. And she used to say, see, I didn't jail inside, Everybody could go somewhere, but not me. I had to come home early, and peeping everybody who go in, right? There's limits for everything. And as they get older, you increase with the time. But do you know when my girls got older, even when they had the chance and they're not bothering, and then even when they go, you see them 7 o'clock, they back home. You understand? So they say after one time is the next time. And that's why we have to let them know that you are the adults, you are responsible for them, and so they have limits. So ignoring. Who have under 5 children? Under 5. What do you do when they throw tantrums? What do you do? Tantrums when they're crying and bawling and they're kicking up all in the supermarket. I see a child just taking hand and just all the snacks because mommy say no. What do? Do you ignore them? Or you giving them slap inside there? And you cussing too? Okay. And what happened? Do they stop? I didn't hear that part.
I said sometimes they won't stop because sometimes they really want the thing you have to buy it for them to wash.
So mommy say if they really want it, and because they're not stopping, she's going to buy it for them to wash. Do we have to do that? No. Right, so when my girls were small, now I didn't used to have no money. So when you eat home, we eat home 3 o'clock and we go in Grenville. So I used to watch them. After the discipline, let me tell you something. I don't have no money. So when you see the ice cream and the snow cone, don't call me. Put your head. You understand? And sometimes they used to say, all children could get an ice cream, but not we. But at times when I used to give them as a little surprise. And we say for good behavior and for understanding, right? So they get these little rewards and so on. and you notice in positive behavior, you always praise them, right? Don't be afraid, even if the smallest thing that they did in school or home, always give them a little praise and say, I am proud of you. You know, you didn't wash the wares well, but I'm happy that you tried, and we're going to keep trying until we get it right, okay? And then we say, excusing self or the child. Sometimes they do things, and we have to say, you know what, they're not perfect, right? And you say, okay, you know, you didn't do something right today, but I excuse you. But try not to do it again. But the main thing in the discipline, you have to be consistent with keep speaking. And as Minister said earlier, you know you have to listen to them some more, because a lot of parents, my mother didn't listen, and a lot of us here parents, how we were parents, as Minister said yesterday, they didn't listen because they thought they were always right. And we were children, and we're supposed to take what it is they're saying, right? Right? My flip chart holder. So we want to talk about positive punishment. We're not talking about negative punishment, because some form of punishment, especially now with the children and their diet, with a lot of sugars, a lot of artificial salt, they're very, very hyper, right? So the punishment, we say, it says here, adding unfavorable outcomes following an undesirable behavior to reduce its occurrence, right? So we're talking about taking away what? Taking away what from the gadgets? What else? What are some things, privileges your children enjoy? Take away television, playtime, sporting activities. So do we take that all away? Or, so for example, every 7 o'clock in my household was news time. It don't matter what you are doing when 7 o'clock reach, it's news, right? So even if I said no television for movies or cartoons or whatever, but once 7 o'clock, all man Jack had to sit down to listen to the news. Now, at first, they didn't like it. And that started from since they were 3 years. And afterward, they get into the habit of coming 7 o'clock to look at the news. So even if you take away the gadget and so on, maybe what you can do as the punishment, maybe they can use it, but maybe something that they're lacking in, it could be reading, it could be something, have them pay it and do it with them, right? A lot of times we leave the children to do things on their own. So parents, you have to do things with them, right? So we have here extra chores, extra homework, and we reduce privileges, right? As some of y'all were saying. I know Mommy said that sporting activities, we do need them to exercise, and a lot of children, they are not participating in any sporting activities. So maybe what you can do is to reduce the time, like they playing football out there. No, I'm just... Yes. Okay.
Maybe for a week, you're not going to no training.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay. So removing the training for a week. Now remember, the training is important as well. So if you have control on the training, and let's say they're going for 6 hours an afternoon, how about 3 hours? Right.
Even though you give them a leeway, like, okay, you will say you're not going for this week, and you let them go, let me say, like for 3 hours, as you say.
Yes.
They will still take us for granted because they go have it like, okay, you say I'm not going, and I go, so I have to go.
So you believe in cutting it out for a whole week?
Yeah.
Right. No. So this means here that, remember, parents, each child of yours is different, and every family is different, and every family is conditioned differently by the rules home, by the environment, by the church, by the school. So what may work for mommy child may not work for Mr. Anderson here, and it may not work for. So what we are discussing here, these are general guidelines for discipline, and we say positive punishment. All right? So, right. So, any questions, anything you want to say? How about anybody want to share an experience with a child or some experience that they know? Are you having any difficulty managing one of your children or your grandchildren, or some scenario that you know? Mommy, I know you said sometimes you just cuss. How we just work out for you afterwards?
When you put me, that's who I'm just behind them.
You belting something behind them?
Yes.
And do you speak to them afterwards?
No.
You tell them you're sorry?
No, I'm sorry.
But what do they say to you?
You say nothing?
So y'all just go on like normal?
Yes.
After that?
Yes.
And then you do it again?
No, I praise them.
You speak with them?
Yes.
Oh, that's a good thing. Let's give Mommy a round of applause. Wonderful. So you see, in her own little knowledge, she said that after all this has happened, she speak to them. And Mommy in the corner said that she has her grown rules. When you're not obeying, no training, at least 1 week, right, at home doing something positive. Wonderful. All right, so thank you all for listening. I hope we did something here that enlighten you and make you become much more aware. And we know the time is short, but everybody do have a device. And you can, expand your knowledge by doing your own research. You can look for different stages of development of the child, put in your child or children's age group, and you can see how to discipline, just some pointers how to help you to manage your children and to manage your home. All right, so thank you everybody for listening, and hope you enjoy the rest of the evening session.
Thank you very much, Miss Neptune. Okay, before we bring our second presenter on, I want to find out from you, a few of you, tell me what you are most proud of in your family. You're most proud of the children. Why you say the children?
Because the children is the future of today and tomorrow. You could, I don't say, well, I have family, but my family don't think about me. But I think about my family and my children. Just to make your voice. My voice is
Okay. Okay, so she said that what she's let's give her a hand of applause. What she's most proud of is the children, because the children are the future. Okay, and that's such an important statement. The children are the future. Let's hear from somebody else. What are you most proud of in your family? And notice I said in the family, not of your children or of yourself. What are you most proud of in your family? Pardon? The communication. Why do you say the communication? Mm-hmm. And do it. Okay, so she said the communication, because when everybody comes together and they plan something, they do it. And would you recommend communication to be a key thing for a family to work well? Okay, excellent. Let me hear two more people. What are you most proud of in your family? What about you? Your children. Why are you most proud of your children? Why? Because you love them. And you love your grandchildren. So she's most proud of her children, she loves her children, and she loves her grandchildren. One more person. Who's going to be brave? What are you most proud of your family? If you don't volunteer yourself, I will volunteer you. I'm looking at the lady here. Proud parent of U.S. Yes. What are you most proud of in your family? Family togetherness. And what does that do for you? Why is that important for you? All right, so she's proud of the family togetherness in her family. Excellent. So our second presenter is the wonderful Miss Colette Jeffrey Charles, who will be presenting on healthy and unhealthy relationships. So a little bit about her. Some of you might know her. Miss Jeffrey is a well-trained, experienced, and certified parenting facilitator. She has been with the Ministry of Social Development, Housing, and Gender Affairs for the past 13 to 14 years. She brings to the table a wealth of experience, having facilitated several parenting cycles in various parts of Grenada over the years. She's a dynamic speaker and one who brings positive motivation to the table. Welcome, Miss Jeffrey Charles. Come on.
Good night to everyone. And I'm happy to be here as per usual. Yes, I'm doing something that I'm passionate about, and so as a result, I am extra happy to be here. Last night we did River Sally, and we spoke about the same topic, healthy and unhealthy relationship, and I stressed a lot about communication and using our 5 senses to communicate as parents. So as a result, we are able to learn our children more, and so as a result, we will get more results from our parenting duty. Tonight, we're still on the same topic, and as we begin, I want to give you all a little story. I remember as a young lady growing up, my mom, one day after secondary school, she sent me to do some bills. I paid the bills and so on, and I went with a friend. When I reached home, Mommy charged me, it's like why I was at that particular place. And I was more than surprised. Say, well, Lord, Mommy sent me in Grand Lake, I had to pay the little bills to the bank to change a little US. And now Mommy come in and tell me, Miss Neptune, why were you at that certain place? Well, I wonder how Mommy know that I am at that particular place. I give you that little story to tell you, and I want to believe that everybody could relate in some way or the other. Yes? Even you young as myself, older, whatever, I believe in some way we are able to relate to this Mommy story where Mommy will tell you something and you wondering who told Mommy about me being in that particular place. And so tonight, I just want to bring across this question. That's why I use that illustration. All of us inside here, in some way or the other, are in a relationship. Yes? All of us inside of here are in a relationship. Whether it's your spouse, your significant other, your boyfriend, however you choose, your sweetheart, your chunkulungs, I know people still does use this word, your main squeeze. We are in a relationship. Similarly, we have relationship with families, our aunts, cousins, mothers, our neighbors. All this, in a nutshell, is relationship. So a relationship is not only you have a main squeeze or you have a boyfriend, but a relationship it's way bigger than this. It's a bigger picture. And so because Mommy had a relationship with the neighbor was able to go and report that Colette was not only at Grand Lake, but she was at that particular place. And this brings us in a nutshell to the take-home message. We are all on a day-to-day basis in relationship, whether it's mother and child, whether it's caregiver and the parents, whether it's educators and the parents, whether it's the police officers and the juvenile officers. We are involved in a relationship on a day-to-day basis. Now, the essence of the conversation with us being in a relationship is some relationships are no good. In our language these days, we call it toxic. Am I making sense? We say that the relationship is toxic. I'm seeing a nod. Right? My question to you tonight is, how do we navigate conflict in a constructive way? How do I navigate conflict in a constructive way? How do you navigate conflict in a constructive way? This is my purpose for starting with the little example, that analogy. Now, how do we deal? Because we're talking about negative and positive relationship, healthy and unhealthy relationship. And behind this, we want to know how can we navigate conflict in a constructive way. Now, we are all in some way or the other involved in conflict, and conflict is good. You all do the research. You work out things and you solve it in a very good way. And so sometimes it ends up in a bad way. But we ask ourselves tonight, if we want our relationships to be good, whether it's our children, whether it's with your boyfriend, whether it's with a caregiver, whether it's with an educator, whether it's the neighbor as my mother did, you must be able to navigate conflict in a healthy and constructive way. If we do not do that, there are consequences. And I am not able to stay here the whole night to label out all of the consequences if we want a relationship to be healthy. And how can we navigate it in a constructive way? It will take us the whole week to actually stand here and itemize the different list of things whereby we are able to solve conflict. What I want to tell you tonight, and this is the second take-home message, if we do not deal with conflict in the proper way, as we all are in a relationship, they will have negative patterns of behavior. Am I making sense? We will have negative patterns of behavior. And when we give rise as a community, as a home, as a nation to negative behaviors, this is no good for us. So when we do not solve things properly, it gives rise to negative patterns of behavior. And this would lead me to the second illustration. I remember as a young lady, we had a kind of religious thing. Mommy will change curtains, clean out and change out our curtains 3 times for the year. Easter, August for the carnival season around there, and for Christmas. Now, I has become a fine young lady, as you can see. And so I adapt that positive behavior. It has become a pattern of behavior. Yes, it has become a pattern of behavior because at my home, I remember what mommy taught me. Yes, and so I change my curtains, I clean, I try to do it 3 times per year. It has become a pattern of, it has become a norm. It has become a usual thing for me. It has become purpose in my heart because I grew up just like this. Am I making sense? And so it has become a pattern of behavior over a period of time. Just so, in relationship, if we do not navigate conflict in a proper way, the children will harness negative patterns of behaviors. And before I leave, I can sit here and tell you some negative patterns of behavior. Little preschoolers, very small, I'm seeing nod, and they will come, reach in the school, and they will behave in a certain way. And sometimes we may ask ourselves, why? And you say, well, I don't understand why Henderson behaving like this. Lo and behold, at his home or on the bus relationship, in the community, he had a relationship. At the community center, a relationship. They did not solve the conflict in a constructive way, and he adopted a negative pattern of behavior. When a pattern of behavior is harnessed in a young child's life, it is very, very difficult to break. We must pray. It's difficult to break. And so because we here sowing seeds into the lives of the nation's parents, where healthy relationship is concerned, for your relationship with your children, your spouses, your neighbors, your workers, on the public buses, in the playing field, if your relationship must be healthy, you must be able to pattern good behaviors. We spoke about a negative one. There are positive patterns of behaviors that give attribute to healthy relationship. Children tell you morning. Before time, mommy and daddy used to say howdy. Am I making sense? Say howdy, say hello. When you pass by, make sure you give her a greeting. You went into a public bus, and you're turning around. No, the child didn't say morning. We expect, because this is a good pattern of behavior. And when the pattern of behavior is good, it gives rise to healthy relationship. Parents, I urge you this evening, if you are in a relationship, whether it's in the neighborhood, whether it's in the public space, whether it's with your cousin, it could be even in the church, and you recognize that the children, this is our center of attraction tonight. We encouraging, we are receiving guidelines as to how to become better parents. We as ministry officials, we don't know it all. And so we come together so that you all could help us and that we can help you all. Knowledge we expect for you all to pass on the baton. Don't leave it just in here, but pass on the baton. Because if we continue along the negative path where our children will harness negative patterns of behavior, it will give rise to unhealthy relationship in the future. And so we want among the statistics with our sons and daughters in the juvenile detention center, we want it to be lessened down. Because of the negative patterns of behavior, we want it to be lessened. The statistics with sexual assault, negative patterns of behavior, we want the number to go down. The statistics, you're walking in the community and it has become a norm. Children will just use obscenities. And you will say, oh, it's fine. We want this to be less. Because when you go to the job market, you cannot use obscenities. This is a no-no, right? And so let the children be involved in a relationship tonight that will give rise to healthy lifestyle. Let the children be involved in nurture your sons and daughters. As you sow that seed tonight, let them give rise to positive patterns of behavior. We don't want the negative. I mentioned one positive. I mentioned one negative. We are not here to label all of them. You and I know the negative patterns of behavior that our children can adopt and has adopted, and thus as a result bring negative end to our unhealthy relationship. We don't want that. In closing tonight, I beckon on every one of us here. We are responsible in some way or the other. It is my responsibility to care for a child in a public setting. It is your responsibility. We have a network. We are in a relationship tonight. Y'all believe that? Y'all are my sister and my brethren, right? And I have to care for your children, and you have to care for mine. And so when we care in a positive way, this will give rise to positive patterns of behavior. And what does a positive pattern of behavior do? Ladies and gentlemen, it gives rise to a healthy relationship. Please, in a nutshell, go with it. Teach them something positive. And thus, as a result, we can see things turning around for the better, and that our children in years to come will be in healthy relationship. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ms. Jeffrey Charles. Give her another hand of applause, please. Okay, so as she spoke about healthy relationships, I want to get a little feedback from you. What is one thing that you do at home, and when you do that thing, you feel you're in a really good relationship with your child? Give them love. What does that mean when you say give them love? Hug them, kiss them, that's showing love, yes. What else do you do to show? Make them what? You have to make your children know that you love them. And how do we do this? Hmm? Yeah, but how do we make them know that we love them? You have to show your children love. You have to talk to your children. Let me get some more examples. What is a healthy relationship? What does that look like? What do you do with your child? I'm going to come right here to you. Yes.
You can do simple things as, for instance, if a child is attending school and that child did well in school, you can show appreciation by giving them a gift. And by doing that, you encourage them to do better in school. Also, whenever a child does something at home, or if they're involved in some kind of form of activity, you go out and you support them. All that is show of love to me.
Excellent. So she's rewarding good behavior, giving a little gift. Give her a clap. Yes, that's wonderful. And let's hear from one more person. What do you do at home that says you have a good relationship with your child? I want to hear somebody else from here. I'm going to come right there to you. What do you do at home? One thing. What do you do at home to show you have a healthy relationship with your children? What does mommy do? Mommy loves you? Mm-hmm. Okay, so she says she makes sure her children are happy and she gives them what they need, not what they want, but what they need. Okay, well done. Yes.
If we are involved in a toxic relationship, let's take, for example, the children see us solving conflict by fighting mommy. It's fight, real lashes in the house. Now, he thinks the best thing to do in the school when there is a conflict, he don't report to miss. Yes? The first thing that he will do is to hit on the students. Negative pattern of behavior. Yes? But if you reason out the thing good with your sister, it must be your husband or your boyfriend. But you reason it out good with your sister or your mom, your cousin, you say, girl, we had a little falling out, let's make this thing up. I'm really sorry, you know, but girl, life's short, let's make this thing up. This is a pattern that will pass on to our sons and daughters. And thus, as a result, when he go to school, even secondary school, he know when he's in a conflict, like give brethren a bones. Boy, like we don't fight, we go end up in trouble. So we could give, this is an example of positive pattern of behavior. So in essence, we want our sons and daughters to go with positive patterns of behaviors. How will they do it? They follow our example. We don't solve conflict by cursing obscenities. We don't solve conflict every time by just throwing the curtains in the air. And thus, as a result, if we continue along that line, our children will harness the negative patterns of behavior. And when he has to walk down the aisle, what will happen? He will give rise to a relationship that is unhealthy. So we join tonight to advocate for positive pattern of behavior to give healthy relationships. I had to make that point.
Well done.
Remember, nowadays, you have some parents nowadays in Grenada now. If your child need their child, will say, I tell you, buzz their head already. There are some parents who do not. It's like coming to the parents and say, oh, your child is my child, your child. They will say, take a knife, or take a knife and shout in them. And what some parents nowadays do
All right, thank you so much, Ms. Jeffries. For those of you who are watching online, I want to encourage you to add your comments. Are you enjoying the session? Tell us what your thoughts are. What positive patterns of behavior are you experiencing in your home? What does a healthy relationship look like in your home? Did you learn something from Ms. Jeffries' presentation? We also want to encourage you to share the link so that other families in Grenada can see what's happening and can see the initiatives that the Ministry of Social and Community Development, Housing and Gender Affairs are undertaking to build families and empower families in Grenada. Okay, our next presenter is Mr. Anderson Richardson, who will be presenting on child abuse awareness and prevention. So Mr. Anderson is a teacher at both primary and secondary level. He had a short stint at the Royal Grenada Police Force. He served as a child protection officer for over 11 years, functioning within different capacities. He is currently employed as a gender program development officer attached to the Ministry of Social and Community Development, Housing and Gender Affairs. Additionally, he is also a trained facilitator at the Legal Aid and Counseling Clinic. He is a community people that is interested in helping people. Mr. Anderson, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Good night, everybody. How are we doing tonight? All right, so tonight I want it to be interactive. So I'm going to start off with some scenarios, okay? Is that okay? All right. So Mary is the mother of 6 children. They are all under the age of 18. Timon is often beaten with pieces of board in his head. Is that abuse? What type of abuse is this? Physical abuse? Yes, you're correct. Say it like you mean it. All right. Martha's uncle touches her bottom and breasts whenever she's home alone. Martha's uncle touches her bottom and breasts whenever she's home alone. Is that abuse? What type of abuse is it? Sexual abuse, right? Or child sexual abuse, right? Jake is cussed regularly and is often called a no good and a stupidity. What is that abuse? Verbal abuse, emotional abuse, psychological abuse. Yes, you're correct. All right. Susan is considered a rude child. As a result, her mother refuses to give her monies for school. Is that abuse? What type of abuse it is? Financial abuse. No child, because of their behavior, should be denied monies to go to school. There are other forms of correction. There are other ways we can deal with the situation, okay? Right. Donette does not want to go to school because large groups of students torment her all the time. Is that abuse? Is that abuse? What type of abuse is that? Yes, it's emotional, but I'm looking for another one. Bullying, yes. They're tormenting her all the time. Everywhere they see her. Rice and peas, foot, all kind of name. So because of that, the pressure now, she doesn't want to go to school. They're bullying her. Very good. And finally, Neva is a little chubby and is often given gifts by certain men in the community who says to her that they love her and they want to be with her. They also promise to take care of all of her financial needs. Is that abuse? Is that abuse? Yes. What type of abuse it is? It can be considered sexual, but I'm looking for something else. That is called grooming. So in other words, they're building a relationship with the child, pretending to be friendly, but with ultimate intentions. And these intentions are not good. The intention is to abuse the child, sexually and otherwise. All right? Now, The Child Protection Act, Child Protection and Adoption Act speaks to mandatory reporting. Anybody know about that? So Section 27 of the Child Protection and Adoption Act of 2010 speaks to mandatory reporting. And it says, anybody, by virtue of their responsibility, employment, have a responsibility to care for a child or children, has a responsibility to report. So if you know of a child that is being abused, don't say it's not your business. In fact, child abuse is everybody's business. It should be everybody's business. So even if somebody call you nosy and you're too forward and you're out of place, whenever you report, you're doing the right thing. And of course, you can report anonymous if you wish. Nobody doesn't have to know you that reported the matter. Okay? And that will move me over to the other section that speaks to good touch and bad touch. Anybody ever hear about that? Good touch and bad touch. So I hear in some yes. What is good touch? So a good touch is a touch that makes the child feel safe, comfortable, happy. It's often done in the public area. So a high five, a tap on the shoulder, a shake hand. Yes? So if that is a good touch, what is a bad touch then? All right. So a bad touch causes the child to be fearful, uncomfortable, scared. It often involves touching of private parts. Yes? So if we're talking about private parts, as we are on private parts, what are the private parts? Anybody can tell me? Vagina for women. And it's important to call it by the proper name, because we have so many names for these parts these days. It's ridiculous. So the breast, right? So vagina for women, the breast, penis for men, the breast chest area. What else? The bottom. There are two others. Yes, your mouth. Your mouth. And what else? Your face. Your face. Now, I want to speak to us on some factors that influence child abuse. One, a stressful home environment. Do you know that a stressful home environment can lead to abuse? You know, some children really cannot function at their home, and they will leave to run anywhere else but the home. So they will sleep in people's veranda, under bridges, in pasture. And I am not speaking to you or speaking to us, in fact, about things that I hear people see. I'm speaking to us about things that I've experienced being a child protection officer over the years. What would cause an 8-year-old to leave the comfort of his or her mother's home and go in the river 11 o'clock in the night and feel comfortable down there? Something must be fundamentally wrong home. Something is pushing the child away from the home, causing them to feel uncomfortable and unsafe there. Secondly, low self-esteem. You know, some children struggle with low self-esteem, and sometimes as parents, we do not help with some of the things we say to them. You stupidity, you're good for nothing, imbecile, you're ebete, you're ugly, and baby, and the list goes on and on. And do you know that sometimes you hear that you are baby or stupidity so often that you actually feel that you are baby in truth? You start acting like the baby. You start behaving like a fool in truth. You start behaving foolishly. Because the mind have a way of starting to display behaviors that is said to it over and over a period of time. Unmonitored use of technology, parents, we need to be very careful. A lot of our children are speaking to people on the internet. How are you so sure that the person you think you're speaking to is the person in truth? The pictures that they put up of themselves, how do you know that's the person? Huh? Give me a picture of your penis now. And I am saying it as plain as that because that is what the abusers does. Send me a picture of your vagina now. And the list goes on and on. Another thing that we do, and children, I am warning you against it, and parents, I am asking you to be vigilant with respect to that. It's not everything you put on social media. You make yourself vulnerable. Meaning, okay, you're going down the road. Oh, I'm going down the road, and you put up a status about it. If somebody wants to abuse you, they know you're going down the road, they know what you're wearing, they know how to strategize to approach you and to attack you. And so by virtue of doing this, you're making yourself defenseless and a target. We must wise up, we must wake up and smell the roses. Moving on. Exactly. We have a lot of children sometimes in the house unsupervised. Mommy or daddy gone out. A 5-year-old is left in the house to look after 2-year-old, 1-year-old, and some months old. A lot of times those things happen. And we do understand the context in which certain things are done, but it doesn't say that it is right. Matches exposed, children playing with matches, and before you know it, everybody burned down. And then after that, who do we blame? Who do we blame? Right? The fact is, you must foresee that it's little children that's in the house, and there are certain things that they are going to do. A stranger bunks up into the place, and they decide that they're going to molest your child. Yes? Moving on. Poor communication. These days, the cell phone has taken over all forms of communication. When I say that, I am going to explain. Even on the table, eating meals, or we having a family discussion, everybody on the phone. Even in the midst of people, you're lonely because everybody is on their phone. Tell me that we have a family meeting where we are supposed to be physically engaging with each other. What does a phone have to do there? And the truth is, we're not recording it. So everybody messaging, everybody WhatsApping. And it's taken away from healthy communication within families. In fact, in a lot of instances, I am not bashing it, but it's mashing up families. And so we must know how and when to use it effectively. You know, technology is good, but based on how you use it, it can be bad. It can be to our detriment, and we must be mindful of those things. Gone are the days when children come home from school. How was your day? What did you do in school today? No communication. Sometimes not even good evening, mommy, or good evening, daddy. Just come, go in the room, weigh me food. Eat me food. Sometimes the way they even speak to parents, you can't even tell who is the child and who is the parent. Mommy, I tell you, I don't want enough food already. No respect. And we must bring back those values. They are very essential. And these are some of the factors. These are the reasons why our society is the way it is today. All right? Now, I don't have much time, but I'm going to attempt to do what I need to do quickly. Now, some signs that your child or your children might be abused. I remember there was one time, there was a lady, and every morning she bring her daughter to that daycare, the child bawling. And I sit down and say, but no, that's a red flag. But you know, sometimes in the heat of things, you have to go to work and you're busy. As parents, you sometimes might overlook these things. But I'm saying to us tonight that these are warning signs. And the child wasn't able to speak, but the child was speaking through crying. And sometimes parents, we need to pay particular attention to these things. I said to her, I said, Miss, one of these mornings, just go back to the daycare when they're least expecting you and have a look to see what's going on. Something must be wrong. The child is speaking to you. And to her greatest surprise, that day, when she went back, her child was being beaten mercilessly by that person that was supposed to be taking care of the child. And so the crying was the sign that the child was using to say, Mommy, I am not comfortable being there. That was the sign. Secondly, sadness. All of a sudden, your child is so jolly and jubilant, and they just start getting silent. They just start getting sad. And you cannot explain the reason for the sadness. there might be some reasons to have some discussion about it. There might be some good reasons to pay particular attention to that. Places that they once enjoy going and having a good time, all of a sudden, they are frightened of going to these places. They used to go to my grandma, good, good, good. But now, as you speak about grandma, it's like a bad pill in the mouth. It's like a bad song in the ears. It might be something that you might want to ask some question about. Feeling exhausted all of the times. It's something it's a red flag. It might be that your child is being abused. No, I'm not saying that we're looking at everybody as abusers, but I'm saying that we need to be vigilant as parents, as caregivers, as a community. Now, what are some of the realities in Grenada? You want to know what are some of the reasons why our families and our communities are like the way they are? One, we're having adult conversation in the presence of children. We're talking about the neighbor and the children are right there. So you vex with the neighbor and the children vex too. Bad practice. We need to stop it. And I am not speaking down to us. In fact, I am speaking across with respect. We need to stop that. Say that again. But at certain levels, at a certain level, there are some conversations that you don't have in the presence of children. You know? There are certain things you may say to them for their safety and their well-being, if that is the case. But there are certain things you don't discuss in the presence of children. Yes? That's okay. That's all right. The children could pass and say good morning. That's okay. That it shows that the adult is not mature enough to respect little children. Because I'll explain to you, there are times, two parents might be bitter and tearing down at each other, but the children are best friends, you know. Leave the children to be children, let them enjoy childhood. Yes? Yes. 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 Thank you so much for that. Thank you so much for that. Secondly, there are times when the abuser in the family is the breadwinner in the family. So because of that, he or she ain't wrong. So you know that person abusing your child sexually, physically, in other areas. But you're not speaking about it because you say, me? You want to break up me and me man? You want to break up me living? You want to break up me and me woman? We just speak up. So because of that, the child is now made to hush and endure the abuse. Do you know how that make that child feel? Do you know the mental pressure? Being unable to focus in school? Being unable to perform well? In fact, the people that are supposed to be protecting you, they are the ones now that are abusing you. Do you know how that feels? Parents, there are some people that should never enter your house. And I say that with no apologies. There are some people that are just good to speak on the phone. There are some people that are just good to speak with in the road. There are some people that are just good to speak with in the yard. They should never enter your house. Because it's not everybody you could introduce your children to. Because they might be looking at you and looking at your children even harder. And I've seen situations where those things happen. Children getting abused by people right within the home circle. Sometimes it's not a stranger, you know. The very same people they expect to protect them, sometimes these are the same people that abuse the child or abuse children. And I'm trying to wind up now. Accepting certain gifts. How on earth can you explain to me that some stranger give your child $500 and you're accepting it as a parent? Where you get that from? Well, where you get that phone from? And that expensive perfume? Who bought that for you? I didn't buy it. So where did you get it from? Parents, we need to ask questions. Gone are the days when we check in bags. I gave the analogy last night in River Sally. You have agriculture science tomorrow, but you have a bat suit in your bag. What's the relation between agriculture science and a bat suit? Explain this to me. As a parent, make that make sense. Huh? You have history, you have physical education tomorrow, but there is a cutlass in your bag. Explain that to me. Make that make sense. And even if they say they're going in the garden, the cutlass sharpen on both sides. What you doing with that? Are you a butcher? Make that make sense. As parents, these are the values, these are the things that we are not doing, so children getting escape routes to do a lot of things that they're not supposed to be doing. I want to encourage us. Make some time off for our children. Let's communicate. Visit the school unexpected. Pop up in the school when they're least expected. You know, there are some parents, since they bring their children in school and they register them, the school never see them again. In fact, some teachers don't even know who some children's parents are. Report come, report go, they never see a parent. Child fight, they expel them or they suspend them, whatever it is, no parent. It doesn't matter what happened, no parent. So I working hard. You don't even bring in my report card. And I don't see the need as a parent to even visit the school. Parents, we need to do better than that. And we're still wondering why our children are behaving in ways that they are behaving, and they are behaving in the way that they are behaving now. It's because of those things that we're not doing. Teach our children boundaries. Learn to say no. Learn to be contented. No means no. A sharp no is going to turn somebody away. But when you no, that no, you ain't too sure. But no, I don't want it. It means that you're assertive. It means stop immediately. Learn to be contented. If it means you have to drink some water for break and your belly hurting, you won't die. Because guess what? The abuser on the outside there, he's going to give you something, or she's going to give you something, but something for something. Something for something. And we need to bring back these values, the social graces. Learn to have respect. Stay out of adult conversation. Parents, when we have our adult intimate times, our children should not be in hearing of that. We're making noise. We're doing all kind of things. Gymnastic in the place. And the children right there. It might sound like a joke, but it's serious. It happens. Parents, it happens. And my heart breaks sometimes when I listen to the stories of children, 3 years, 4 years, being sexually abused. And sometimes all of the amount of therapy that we give to that child, and though that person might be brought to the judicial system for prosecuting, sometimes the pain never go away. There is always a song, an occasion, a moment in time sometimes that bring you right back as if the thing just happened. And I am saying, if it is that we could prevent it by all means necessary, let's do that. Sometimes when we look at how some of our children dress, Lord have mercy, you can't believe they come out in a home with parents. And making matters even worse, sometimes the parents buying your outfit. No, I'm not saying that persons are supposed to molest your children. But what I'm saying is that if we can do things to mitigate it, then why not? I believe that there are some ways that children should dress. So tell me why a child that is 12 years should be leaving home 8 o'clock to go to a school fair. Where are they going? You send your children out, there is no return time, so they come back any old time that they want. We need to set boundaries. We need to set boundaries. My time is quickly going by. We have other presenters. I wish the time was longer, but that's all the time I have with you. So I thank you very much for listening. Do have a good night.
Mr. Anderson, I want to ask you one question. Listen up. If a parent suspects that their child is being abused, where should they report it? What should they do about it?
So you make a report to the Child Protection Authority. You have the number 435-0293, 435-0293, or you have the hotline 533-6990, or you can call the nearest police station if it is an emergency and you really need urgent assistance. You can call 911 and ask to be transferred to the nearest police station. If it's an emergency, it might be happening. Those are some of the things that you can do. If you're looking at counseling, Child Protection Authority have counselors, Ministry of Social Development have counselors, Legal Aid and Counseling Clinic have counselors, as well as other stakeholders that we work with that we can share with you at another time.
Thank you very much. Big hand of applause for Mr. Anderson. This is an area that he's very passionate about. And I just wanted to share a little story with you. In my work here in Grenada with Miss Pascal, we were doing a session one time, and there was one little girl who said to us that her best friend had committed suicide because the best friend had been sexually abused by her stepfather. And that little girl, it didn't happen to her, but she's living every day knowing that that is what happened to the child. So, you know, it's a very, like Mr. Anderson said, years of therapy sometimes cannot fix those problems, but prevention of it, do the best we can not to put our children in those kind of situations. It's really important. Okay, so our next presenter is Mr. Andy Matthew. And Mr. Andy Matthew has been working as a social worker for over 20 years. By the way, did you notice that the people that are speaking with you are not just people that we took off the streets? These are people who are highly experienced, who have expertise, who have been working in the community, who understand the culture in Grenada. So we really have brought some of the best to you here. So he works with young people in conflict with the law. He spent time working in England before he moved to Grenada, and he's worked at the Bacolod Juvenile Center for 7 years before moving to his current job at HYPE. Mr. Andy Matthew will be speaking to us this evening, on parenting in the electronic era. Mr. Matthew, come on.
Thank you and good night. I want to start off with something a little bit different, like putting you back to school and stuff. Something different. We call it an icebreaker. And I just want you to say what you see, okay? It's not that hard. Look, man, you go get all. I know that. I could see that. Yeah, it's not that hard. It's an icebreaker. So the first one, I don't know if you all can see it. So what you can see is a word in the middle and then words around it. Can you see the word in the middle? Okay, so the word in the middle is world, and around it there's a word. So it's a phrase. This actually represents a phrase. Okay? How I can give you a clue in conjunction. Let's say Grenada. Grenada is known all around the world. Yeah? You get it? So world in the middle and all around it. So Grenada, I'm trying to give you examples so you can try and get it, okay? I only have a few, so we go through quickly. A profession, somebody's job that they may do, your child might be, and say what you see. Engineer. Okay? Just say what you see. Is quite simple. Don't think too much about it. Okay. The young ones. A famous singer. Cardi B. Okay? Famous singer, Cardi B. All right? This is a little thing you can do with your children. Take them off their appliances. It's fun. I love it. The kids love it. Don't you like it? Yeah, it's something different, okay? Next one. This one may be a little more difficult. So you count the number of words. How many anything is, what is it? Anything. How many of them are there? 4. What's in front? E. What color is the E? Say it. Red. E. 4. Ready for anything. Okay? Ready for anything. Simple, right? Now you see the next one? Everybody has to get this one. And I'll be very disappointed if you don't. Okay? It's a famous person in Grenada. No, I'm more famous than that. Deacon Mitchell. Okay? All right. Sorry, I got no more. Just a few so we can break the ice. So today I'm here to speak to you about parenting in the modern era with technology. And I don't know if you can help me. Anybody knows different types of social media? Tell me what kind of social media we get on out there. Give me some examples. Anna Augustine. Where is Anna Augustine? What platform Anna Augustine on? Facebook. Give me another one. Platforms. Huh? Instagram. What else? Who? Snapchat. TikTok. Okay. So in this modern era, these are some of the things that we as parents have to contend with. TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat. What else they have? Which one? WhatsApp, yes. When we were growing up, myself showing my age and maybe some of you parents, we had a phone at time. Yeah? We had to dial. When you do it one way, you have to wait for it to go back. At times when we don't want it to run back, we get the skill. We used to tap on top. Tap, 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 tap. So that's one. Tap, tap, you know. Now you have a phone. Instantly you can speak to somebody in any part of the world. Like instantly. So as parents, how are we prepared for this? Are you aware of these platforms? Are you aware of what your children are doing on these platforms? Do you spend time to go, you know, your child might like Instagram or TikTok. Do you spend time to go and see what they're looking at? You know, 10 minutes you sit, you do? That's good. You sit with them, you enjoy it with them. So you have a better understanding of what is going on. Because out there, Mr. Anderson in his topic spoke about some unscrupulous people who are out there, who takes advantage of our innocent children in ways that are despicable. As low as 3 years old, 2 years old, being sexually abused. That's year plus. This is crazy. This is crazy. And we as parents, we have a hard enough job growing our children without having to worry about the predators and all these things outside. Parents, are you aware of this Snapchat and how it works? You are? You realize that the messages don't remain on there? Okay. So imagine if your daughter or son is communicating, or you'll allow them to have this app. That child could have conversation with anyone. Yes, they could delete their conversation in other things. But this one, they can have conversations and do things that you would never be aware of. And this is one of the most dangerous platforms for children. TikTok, as much as you think it's innocent, you can find anything on TikTok. And the smartphone, you don't need to learn to spell. You need to put in 2 words that's wrong, and it would come up with something closest to what this letters means, which might be a pornography site, which might be some pedophile site trying to entice your children. So it's important that we stay on top of what our children are doing, what they are looking at, how it's influencing their lives. Because if we don't, trust me, there might just be somebody out there who will do that for you. And what they would be giving to your child is not helpful. This is the ones that you find the children start to be withdrawn. and they're not speaking as much because they're scared. I just sent something to somebody on Instagram, and they want me to send another one, and they say, if I don't send it, I'll go send it to your mother. And that child is scared because every day they come home, they're thinking, I wonder if mommy get the picture. Do you know what that child is going through? And that's the child's innocent. The child didn't even think. The child probably think it's a person is the same age because the person might have a picture of a child on there. And they are a 60-year-old man or a 60-year-old woman or a 40-year-old man. The recent case in Guyana with the child who was killed, what's her name? And I saw today they published a picture of a young man. He looks in his 30s with locks, Rasta. And that's who they claiming. There was suspicion of murder and killing that child. But when you look at this man, you would not in a million years think that he would do something like that. And that's what Mr. Anderson was talking about. Sometimes we are too quick to allow people into our homes. And not just physically, not by walking, but allowing them into our homes with the electronic devices. They are in your home just the same. Because when your child is in the room and she little boogie and taking little TikTok, that person is seeing everything inside that house. That person could meet that child down the road later on and say, you know what? I always come in by your mother. I could tell you how your mother, your room is, or because he has knowledge of that. That child in his innocence might think, well, yeah, maybe when I go to school, my mommy friend, start having innocent conversation, which is known as grooming. And they do that not just physically, but on the phone. And it's even more dangerous because half the times your child might be sitting on a chair in the front room. You're in the kitchen doing a little cooking and they're on the device. You're not paying attention because you know what? They're keeping quiet. You don't have to worry about them. They're in your house. They're safe. Or so we think. Sometimes they are not. And sometimes when they want to tell you, they're too scared because by that time, they already done what they done and they are embarrassed. So how, as parents, are we going to keep on top of this? And the idea is not to suppress your children because it is important to use the devices. It is how we use it. In moderation and for the right reasons. And that's what we have to encourage our children to do. We're in an age now where we can't say you can't use it. Technology has moved on. Things are improving. Every month a new phone, there's iPhone, what, 16, 17, 18? 18? Right. And maybe next year there'll be 19, 20. Every couple of months there is something new. We might not be able as parents to keep up with certain aspects of it. But the social media, the ability for you to go to your child and sit with your child and talk to them about what they are doing on the net is important. The conversation, the connection, building a relationship so you are better equipped to deal with the invisible enemies online. Okay? And this is a very serious issue that we're having, not in Grenada only, worldwide. We hear about cyber bullying. Your child don't have to be abused by going out. You could keep him in the house. He likes games, he likes there. You're saying, oh, my child like to play game, he happy on the computer and anything. But a child who outside, who doesn't like him because he think, oh, for whatever reason, and he always in book, and he always playing computer, find his little email address. And by the end of the evening, that child could get 25 messages. And those messages sometimes is not kind. The kind of stuff that they would be saying to these children or to each other. And the effect that he has on that child. So when we're thinking about parenting, and thinking of technology, yes, it's a big advantage. Yes, it helps us to communicate. Yes, it helps us to do our schoolwork and investigate and makes life so much easier. But we also have to be aware of the danger of not monitoring it properly as parents, the effects it can have, the different platforms. Are you willing to let your 10, 11-year-old child have a Facebook account, TikTok account? In fact, at 10, 11, should they be having a phone? 10, 11, you're always at home. The only place you go to school and back. Isn't it? I mean, I should hope so. Where else? Okay, you might go and do some activities in the village, but that's close by, and more than likely parents would accompany them and then, go and pick them up afterwards. So there's no need for a 10, 11-year-old child to really be having a phone. Look how he looked at me. I know you're upset about it, but why do you need a phone? To play game? Then we could get you, because you're not calling. They don't have to call anybody per se, unless it's you as a family member. And if it's at school, they can always ask the teacher to call my mom or call my dad. It can happen. So we have to be careful and mindful of what we're doing. Sometimes we think we're doing something good, but when we look at pros and cons of the situation, it does more harm than good. So my advice to you is not see technology as the enemy. The enemy is us not monitoring it. If you put a tablet down or a computer down, it would stay there. It can't turn on its own. It can't go on a site on its own. So we have to educate our children that when they pick this device up, they use it properly, effectively, and to the advantage of themselves and what they are trying to achieve. At this point, I'm actually going to wrap up because I think for me, you don't have to go too much. I think you get the message behind this. It's about being vigilant. Okay? It's not about drawing this out. It can be safe, it can be good, but it's how we as parents monitor and make sure that we keep our children safe. So I want to say thank you for everybody coming here tonight, and have a blessed night. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Matthew. We really appreciate your insights to this conversation. Okay, excellent. So I just want to, for our online audience, there is a number on the screen that you can call if you ever need support in parenting with your children. There are officers and staff at the Ministry of Social and Community Development who are there to support you. If anything is troubling you, you don't know what to do, you are having challenges, you need a counselor, you need someone to talk, please call the number on the screen and you will receive the support that you need. So as we are coming to the end of our program, I want to thank all of the presenters who made the time and who are committed to developing our communities in Grenada. Let's give them a big hand of applause. It's not easy, the work that they do. But one thing I know, having worked with the ministry for the last few months, is that there's a team of absolutely dedicated professionals who are giving everything they have to uplift others and to make their communities better. But because we are also celebrating International Family Day, it's not just about Grenada. I want us to think of how we connect to the whole Caribbean, the whole world. You know, in our little islands, our people, our families, they are the root for everything for us. If all of us can learn to protect that little family, that little community, you know what? We can reduce crime. We can create uplifting homes, uplifting families. And you know what happens? When everyone in the home, in the family, feels comfortable, feels well, feels happy, Grenada as an island will become a happier Grenada. Do you believe that? Yes, so we must all do our part, and I want to again emphasize, if you don't know what to do, there is support with the ministry to help you. So in closing, let's see if there are any questions you have. How did you feel about this evening's activity? Tell us something you are leaving here with, you are taking home with you. What did you learn? Anybody, what did you learn tonight? Oh, I want to hear something from somebody. Don't tell me you're leaving here without learning anything. Did you learn anything tonight? Pardon? Sorry, I didn't understand. What did you learn? The community center? The community center. Okay. Anybody else? What did you learn tonight? Different ways of parenting, discipline versus punishment. The two ladies in black hair, anything you are leaving with tonight? No, you didn't learn anything tonight? You learned so much, you don't know what to say? Okay, so we are going to do one final activity. Because we are celebrating International Family Day on the 15th of May, which is on Thursday. So I want everyone to stand, and what we are going to do, we are going to move around in a circle and wish another family something good. So if I met Miss Honorable Gloria Ann Thomas, I will say, Miss Gloria Ann Thomas, I wish your family peace, love, and joy. I would meet Miss Rush, and I can say to her, Miss Rush, I wish your family to have healthy relationships at home. So I want each one of us to go around and wish another family something good. And then we are going to say goodnight. So come on, stand up. Let's do that. Because our families are not just the ones at home. We want now to care for all the families in Grenada. So come over here, everybody. Come here. Come close. Come over here. Come. Come. The staff, come. Everybody can join her before we leave. Okay, so it goes like that. Come, join. Come. Okay, so we're going to start with you. You just go around. Just find somebody. Just walk around. By the time I count to 10, everybody should be walking around, and everybody need to find at least 4 people to wish them something good for their families. So come, just start moving around. Just walk around. Just find somebody. Just walk around. And start with I wish. Come on, move around, move around. Come join. Yes, you can even give a hug. Yes, I like the hugs. I wish your family joy, contentment, and happiness.
And I wish your family peace, love, and unity.
Thank you. I wish your family joy, love, and happiness at home. Thank you. I wish your family all that is good, wonderful, and happy.
Thank you.
All right. I wish you all wonderful things, Mr. All right, so everyone, we are at the end of our program. Thank you very much for showing up, for coming, and we want to wish you all the best with your family and that you will receive all the support that you need. Big hand, let's give everyone a big hand of applause for being here. And I think there are some treats for you outside as you are leaving. And again, thank you for being here tonight. Thank you.